I've spent $16,668 in Whiteout Survival in 114 days, and I never thought a number that big would be coming out of these lips right here. $16,668. But the number just keeps going up. I'm having fun. You guys are having fun joining me. Let's talk about what's going on the account tonight. First things first, as you can notice, I don't know if you'll notice, but I'm in a new alliance right now. And the reason for that is because what I'm doing is I'm going to take this time, the SVS just concluded, and we had some problems in the state. I'm going around to the top 5 alliances and just trying to establish better relationships, learn more about who they are, understand their perspective, see if I can maybe be a broker of some better relationships within the state, and see how things go. It's like an experiment I'm doing just to try to, learn more about the other alliances that we need help with for a proper SVS. And so there's not so much animosity towards alliances stuff. So maybe I can be the glue that helps, put this together. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me personally. I'll learn more about them and they'll learn more about me. And that's fine too, if that's all that comes out of it. But, I'm the whale in the state as well. So I might as well, while I'm here, help them out. So basically I told them when I'm doing these rotations, it's not just going to be come and visit and say hi. I'm going to participate in their events. I'm going to try to help them out a little bit. In fact, this alliance is almost done with one of their techs. Actually, let's go to that right now, because if we look at the Alliance Showdown, I'll come back to this. I'll show you what I'm doing here. On day 1 of the mobilization, now we are still trying to save for prep, and I'll talk about that a little bit. But, one of the things we can do is speed ups, and one of the things we can do is use gems. So I'm just going to do this a little bit so you can see that I'm helping this alliance essentially. But if we come in here and I'll grab this. And then come into the tech tree, and they're trying to finish off this tech. So basically I get points for using gems, right? So might as well use some gems and make some contributions, trying to help them get this tech up even faster, right? Is this an efficient use of gems? Well, not necessarily, not really. But it is helping get some points for Alliance mobilization. At the whale spending I do, it's not a huge loss to me. And I'm basically helping them get some points. So finish off a tech and get some points for this event. So I'll do this up until maybe 350. Well, that gets quite a bit. Each press now gets quite a bit. And that's it. I'll just do that for now. And then every day I'll just come in here and do that a little bit, because this event does come with some gem spending on every day of the event. So, easy way for me to help make a contribution there. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm going to, try to help with the actual events. And here's where I was at. I was at the Alliance Showdown. And what I wanted to show here, before I get into some of the spending on the account, I just wanted to show that, the thing we're going to do here is these escort trucks. If you guys are familiar with this event, of course, the escort trucks. But the rest of the stuff, even if I had it, I can't do fire crystals because I'm all maxed out right now. The speed ups, yeah, we want to save speed ups for SVS prep. However, I also need to make minimum points to get rewards for the event. And we do have some gathering we can do as well for this event, and some gem spending that will give points for this event. So there are some things, as a spender, we do spend money on speed ups and stuff. So as long as I'm spending what I'm using, then it's fine. As long as I'm not going crazy trying to rank, then it's fine. So I'll put some points on the board for that as well. And there are benefits to the Alliance. I mean, the Alliance ranking rewards do matter as well. And I missed out on one of these horns last time, I think, because we didn't rank very well in this one. So, as a whale who needs some of this stuff, I do need to make sure that I can at least get, one of these horns. But, this is the Alliance ranking. I don't know. We'll see how things go. So I don't want to blow a lot for when we're trying to tell everyone, myself included, to save for prep. So I'm basically trying to make sure that anything I use, I can replace. And I don't know if there's a thing for essence stones in this, but I do want to make sure that I start using essence stones to get the essence stones pop-up pack. So here we go. So on this day, I'll use 100 essence stones and I'll get the essence stones pop-up pack. So by using 100 essence stones, I'll get some points for this event. And I'll be able to get the pop-up pack that'll give me 240 Essence Stones. And so the net gain is 140 Essence Stones for SVS Prep. So that's an example of like whale spending logic that everybody can't do. And that's smart for SVS Prep, but it's a little counterintuitive because I'm using something to get something. But you have to know that you're doing that strategy to be able to use it. So let's see. The other thing I'm going to do for Alliance Showdown is just show you quickly, like basically if you're not familiar with this, or if you, maybe you are and you just never thought about this before. If you send your trucks out right away, I don't know how big of the whales are in this other state. I'm not going to go do a whole bunch of research. They do seem to have, let's see, those are points. Where is the, so they do seem to have a decent amount of power, only 55 members, but you know, almost 3 billion power. Take a look, you know, probably actually, you know what? I can beat every one of these guys, so I'm not even going to worry about it. I am going to send my trucks out. If it's a bigger alliance or a bigger opponent, sometimes you need to be careful about that, but I can beat every one of those, so I'm just going to send these trucks out. So we'll take a look at this. Let's see if we can get some SSR trucks. And the way I do this, you know, I'm going to go until I get an SSR. And for me, I don't care what the SSR is necessarily. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have better ones, but like, I just want to make sure I get an SSR truck for the 10K points here, the Alliance Showdown points. And if I just keep on spending these like for gems or for these tickets, like it's not, you know, you're not guaranteed to get something better. So you might as well just take the first SSR you get. That's the way I do it. You may like to do something else. Like, see, like this one isn't super awesome as SSR goes. I don't know. Maybe this one is worth maybe this one is worth doing a refresh on. Because that was a lucky SSR. I wasn't a guaranteed one. This is a bunch of alloy, so, and that's been having, that will be a stopping point for me. It's been hard to get some of that. So I'll grab this. And I know basically that that's going to make it because none of them can beat me. Now we come to the others truck. What we want to do is look for these. I'm going to try to hit one that hasn't been hit as much. Well, that's, I could hit that one as well, I suppose. Oh no, I can't rate it because it's already been rated twice. Let's see if I can find another one. There we go. There's a nice SSR from the opponent, 150 mil. See what we can get from it. All right, we got a stone, an essence stone. Rate it again. And we got some taming manuals. That's the main thing there. All right. Then I'll come back. See if I can find another one. I don't want that. I want an SSR. Well, if I can't find one in a couple retries, then I'll have to wait. Because I'm not going to hit anything else. I want to make sure I hit one of their SSR trucks. But this is the game you play, essentially. Like when you have, in their case, they shouldn't send out anything too soon, because if I got impatient and I just went for these other points, then I'm losing opportunities to hit them. And that's kind of what if you're on the flip side of this equation, that's what you want to do. You want to wait. So I'm not getting anything here. What you want to do is you want to wait a little bit and send your trucks out like later, so that hopefully the bigger whales have already made their hits and you're kind of like, they're out of hits. Like if I'm out of hits now, I can't do anything else. And then it doesn't matter. You send your trucks out and they're going to make it. At least you have a better chance of them making it. We have some other heavy hitters in this alliance. So yeah, I'm not getting anything here. So I'll just wait on that. But now let's take a look at the armament competition. Now, again, because we're saving for SVS Prep, what I want to be doing is be careful what I spend on here. I mean, I don't want to do anything more with Chief Gear. I just did some recently. The fire crystals I can't do because I'm maxed out. I'm not going to do anything with shards, even though I totally could. I really want to save that for state versus state prep. Now, what that leaves me with is speed ups, and speed ups is kind of double dipping at this phase because the Alliance Showdown has speed ups as well. So what and the thing is, like, I can't do any construction, so construction's out. We're really looking at the difference between research and troops, and both are useful for different things. But, you know, research is something that it just takes forever, and troops, you know, does increase your power and stuff as well. But it also, there's some very specific like troop days and stuff like this, whereas research, I can, you know, get, you know, the speed ups for from other ways. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use some speed ups for research, and we'll put some points on the board that way. And then, so I've got this, with the research I have going on is the last regimental expansion here. And I would really like to have that. And this will increase the rally capacity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed this up, but only enough. Actually, I think it's, if I calculated right, to max that out, it would be like 300 hours or something. So to max out the points. So let me just do 100 hours and see how that works out. Actually, let me do a little math here. If we take, I think it's 333. So 20,000 points divided by, 60 minutes per hour would be 333 hours I would need. So if I do, 100 hours, that would be that should be like 6,000 points, I think, if I did that mental math quickly. So use that. And come over here, armament competition. Yeah, so I got 6,000 points from that. So I'm going to need the, the rest of that. It'll be, but the thing is that I probably will do a little bit of, let's see, we have a couple days on it. We have 2 days on this, and I might end up doing a little bit of, troop speed ups and things like that, just organically. So I'll do another 100 of these. That'll put me at 12,000. And then I'll see, like, organically, if I just do, like, just to give you an example here, if I do a round of speed ups on these, I'll train those, speed up. Just do a round of that, and then we take a look. Now we're at 13,000. So what I'll do is I'll just, do whatever organically I'm going to do between today and tomorrow, and then I'll top that off by just hitting the research points, and that's it. And then I'm out. I'm out of armament competition. I'm just making sure that I get the basic points for the event, and I'm not trying to rank. If I rank, I rank. But look, people are already pushing this farther than they should, to be honest. For wanting to say for state versus state prep, really all you need to do is get your 20,000 points and you're out. So honestly, I don't know why people are doing this. Again, a little frustrating when you see that happening. So is what it is, though, because people are allowed to play their own game, right? So, if as a state we're not going to come together for state versus state, then just need to know what the strategy is going to be. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to get one of these. I'll have to wait until somebody pokes their head out and sends a truck out. So I'll have to keep monitoring for that. All right. Well, so Alliance Showdown, we're going to put some points on the board, essentially. We got some points for the basic rewards, and then we'll see how things go as we progress. Try to help the Alliance out here, since I'm part of the team now. And then I'm also going to see if I can help them with Foundry, because that would be fun to do as well. We'll get a chance to play a Foundry with them, and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to have to figure out what time they tend to vote for and see if I can make one of those. Either, I'd like to be in Legion 1 to help them win for the Alliance, but if not, then I'll at least be in Legion 2, hopefully. Even if it means I got to get up at a strange hour just to help them out, I'll suck it up and do it. So let's see. That's what we have for the events right now. We do have a Snowbusters coming up. And so, I'll be able to get some more of those island decorations. So now let's take a look at doing some spending. So first things first, I'm going to go into the deals section this time and kind of work it backwards. So I'm going to grab the free claim here. And this is I'm going to grab the $5. It looks like the $5 resets every day, but the rest of them don't. Yeah, this has got a daily limit and the rest of them don't. So I'm going to grab the $5 limit every day. It's got another day of the $5, and I'm still kind of waiting to decide what I want to do. There is something that I was convinced of. I get an awful lot of advice, and the problem with that advice is not many of those people are actually whales, and the whale strategy is oftentimes very different than a free to spend or even a low spend player. Even I am a low grade whale compared to some people's standards. But the thing is that by having Logan and Greg both, maxed out and ready to go, there's going to be quite a long time, even if it's just a couple months, but quite a long time where they are actually useful. So the problem is I don't want to like use them until SVS prep, but I do think what I'm going to end up doing is I think I'm going to end up buying these for Logan shards actually, and being able to lock them out. Now I do, of course, again, as a whale, I've got the mythic shards banking up as well, but try to get some of these events here since I'm spending anyways. So I did that spend, and I'm just gonna hold off on that until tomorrow because I'm not going to use them anyways. I'm just going to acquire them and then hold on to them. So that's the Hall of Heroes. Weekly benefits card is ready to reset. So let's see. I had been doing the Chief Gear benefits and Chief Charms. Now the thing is I did a bunch of spending on charms and gear just recently. So even though it's not necessarily the highest value, I think it's what I need right now. I'm going to go back to the Hero Gear benefits for these ones. So I'm going to select the Hero Gear because I do need to keep working and progressing that gear. All right, and make these claims. And see, the Essence Stones are down because I just did some work with them recently. And what I need to do is have enough to be able to do the other things. So Hero Gear here again. All right. And then the Hero Rally is, I think, to me, it's a great deal. But instead of grabbing them for Greg shards, I don't see the point in doing that really. You don't get any more. So I'm just going to grab them. And once he's unlocked, you don't need any more. So I'm going to just grab the general, mythic shards. And look at that, just the Firestone, Fire Crystal value alone, 70 divided by 10, that's 7 per dollar. Plus you get all this other stuff with it. So to me, this is actually pretty good value. And then we'll grab that. And now the Journey Treasures, just grab these claims. And sign in and earn it, already purchased. Deadshot. Deadshot reset. Wait until I get 5 and then I'll do Deadshot again. All right, so that's the deals section. Now let's take a look at the standard deals. So, I was doing some math on the mix and match, and really this is like fire crystals or speed ups. And I'm going to buy some of this just because at the $5 level, at least it's worth, getting some VIP points to spin the wheel. But, the more I look at this, I don't actually like this mix and match pack all that much. And I understand it gets better in future generations as well. So, I have quite a bit of the, well, I don't actually have that many speed ups for the other ones, but the fire crystals value here is something like 7, if I recall. Let's see, 12 times 3 divided by $5 is 7.2. So it's not the best value for fire crystals, but it's also not the worst. But I don't see the point in grabbing the speed ups because I do get those from other packs anyways. So just because I want to grab this at the $5 level, I'm going to grab the fire crystals for $5 for the VIP points alone. And you do get a key with it as well. And I think that's all I'm going to do on that one. Now the custom pet chest, I was taking a look at the pets and, I did start banking up a bunch of these material chests. I have wild marks and stuff, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these at a ratio. I'm going to do a couple of these at a ratio of 2 of the chests and 1 of the pet foods. Actually, for this first one, I'll just do all of the chests. And then for the next one, I'll do 2 chests and 1 pet food. And then I'll do that again. 2 chests and 1 pet food. And that's all I'll do for that. But that's a way to, start banking up some of the stuff I'll need for pets as well. The Combat Medic Pack is not all that great, so I'm going to skip it. It's usually for Foundry. Now, here's the thing, the exclusive gear enhancement special. We got 6 days on this one. I am going to buy it again, but not tonight because I have 6 days on it. I did end up off camera. I did end up doing the $100 enhancement gear special because it's just, you know, you look at how hard it is to get these any other way. It's a long and slow grind. And I just got done saying that, like, I do really want to start doing as a whale. I need to start thinking more about Greg and Logan, which I've been planning on skipping. I don't think I can skip them. So I think I'm going to have to buy this out. And it's just, I'm not going to do it today because I want to wait for another day to kind of spread out the spending a little bit. So that's that. And then we'll grab the daily deals here. See if I get lucky. Yes, I did. Almost double. Great. And then grab these claims. And then we're done with that for now. Okay. And we got a reset. So I think we did a reset. Yeah, so I'll grab this for $5 as well. Somebody said in one of my comments, hey, it scales up the same, so you should buy more of the mithril. The thing is, I went all in on Kasha, so I do have quite a bit of mithril. I know it. You're always going to need more, but like I don't want to go overboard either, and the efficiency for the VIP points goes down. And so basically, just once a week, I grab that. I grab it from every other source I can, and when we get to special events like Kasha, then I'll go all in on those events. You know, to the point of where it's efficient. And I think that's it. That's it for the mithril. So let's see. That's where we're at for the spending. Now, let's take a look at the VIP points and see, is it worth spinning the wheel tonight or not? Probably not. I don't think I did a little bit of spending, so. Yeah, we're at 50,000. I'm going to skip. I want to wait. I'm going to do the prestige spinner when I'm at least at 100,000 or more, so we'll wait for another day to do this prestige spinner. So the last thing I want to do is I want to do the Labyrinth before I'm done with today's content. Because a lot of you have been complaining like, hey, you can't just do the spending, you got to show us the result of that power as well. Now, I think I've done some progressions that will help me advance stages, so let's take a look at this. Now, I'm going to do a quick deploy here. I did get a tip, I think. So this is, what is this? Land of the Brave. So usually Land of the Brave is 50, 10, 40. But what I played around with is instead of 50, so 50, 10, 40, I basically went to 60 and then scaled it down. So leave this at 10. All right, so basically I'm going to scale the Lancers up. And I'm going to play around with the Lancers and the infantry. So essentially I'm going to start that strongest squad like that. And then the middle one, I'm going to go down 5 and up 5 on the marksman. And then the last one, I did this last time and it worked out pretty well. This is mainly for the higher levels. I think you get a better results with the higher levels with playing little tricks like this. All right. You usually get a better result when the other two squads attack and take some of the impact off of them, but I hate when it happens like this. Maybe it's unavoidable. All right. Oh, we're getting close. Getting close to the break-even point where it's going to be hard to win. Oh, maybe not. Looks like I still got a couple levels in me. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah. All right, let's see where we're sitting at. I'm gonna stick with that formation until it doesn't work. And then I'll play around with the ratio and see if it matters. Hey, all right. Didn't expect that. Oh, this is... I don't like when it happens this way, but... yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. Let's try it one more time. See if I get luckier this time on the draw. All right. Oh. Feel like I want to try that one more time. All right. Hey, well, that mattered. So that was the 50, 10, 40. All right. So where do we end up? 27.5. Not too bad. Not too bad. Where's my total Labyrinth score looking like? 992. All right. Waiting to break the 1,000. That's soon. I'm 8 levels away of something from breaking 1,000. Let's take a look at the backpack and open those up. See how... well, let's clear this out for a quick second. Can't help myself. All right. Let's clear these out. Oh, no island pieces. One more island piece. So, if we take a look at the island, we should have... yeah, if we take a look at the island, we have how many left? We have only 2 more left till I can max that out. So that'll be good. That'll be nice. And before we go, let's give this one more shot and see if I can find one of the other trucks to whack. Oh, I found one. All right. Let's give this guy a whack or 2. All right, got some more essence stones. And some gems. But the most important thing is took his points away. Took his Alliance Showdown points away. So that's all I have for tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you did enjoy watching it and you want to continue to follow my journey, see how the spending goes, how the account progression goes, and see some events that I do, you got to help me out by giving me a like, subscribing, and turning on notifications. That way, whenever I post anything, you'll know about it right away. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, I'll see you later.